A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a bold move to address rising crime rates in the capital, President Donald Trump has announced the deployment of the National Guard to Washington, D.C. This decision comes just days after he ordered an increase in federal law enforcement presence in the city. The memorandum, titled Restoring Law and Order in the District of Columbia, accuses local government officials of losing control over public safety. Trump pointed to recent violent incidents, including the fatal shootings of 2 embassy staffers and a congressional intern, as evidence of the urgent need for federal intervention. Citizens, tourists, and staff alike are unable to live peacefully in the nation's capital, which is under siege from violent crime, Trump stated emphatically. He expressed his dismay at the capital's crime rate, which he claims surpasses that of some of the world's most dangerous cities. The president's order directs the Secretary of Defense to mobilize the District of Columbia National Guard, allowing him to determine the necessary number of troops to address what he describes as an epidemic of crime. This mobilization will remain in effect until law and order are restored in Washington, D.C. Trump also urged other cities to take similar measures, stating, "We're going to be taking back our capital," and emphasizing that other cities are observing the administration's actions closely. He specifically mentioned Chicago and Los Angeles, criticizing their mayors for insufficient action against crime. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who will oversee the police department during this federal intervention, declared, "Crime in D.C. is ending and ending today." The deployment will consist of 800 National Guard members, with the possibility of more being added if necessary. In a pre-press conference social media post, Trump proclaimed, "Washington, D.C. will be liberated today. Crime, savagery, filth, and scum will disappear." He expressed his commitment to restoring safety and order to the capital, promising swift action. However, the president's claims of rampant crime have been met with skepticism. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has rejected Trump's portrayal of the city, noting that while there was a spike in crime in 2023, overall statistics show a decline in violent crime rates. She stated, "We are not experiencing a crime spike," countering Trump's assertions. The mayor expressed concern over the president's actions, calling them unsettling and unprecedented. She highlighted that crime rates had dropped significantly, with homicides reaching a 30-year low. Despite the president's claims, data from the Metropolitan Police Department indicates a 32% drop in homicides from 2023 to 2024, with an additional 12% decrease this year. Bowser criticized comparisons of Washington, D.C. to war-torn regions, calling them hyperbolic and false. The National Guard troops are expected to support local law enforcement, with approximately 100 to 200 deployed at any given time. Trump's plan also involves placing the city's police department under direct federal control, a move enabled by the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. This act allows the president to assume control of the police force during emergencies, but requires notification to Congress if the control lasts longer than 48 hours. Mayor Bowser expressed her concerns regarding the implications of such federal oversight. In addition to crime, Trump addressed the issue of homelessness in Washington, D.C., stating, "We're getting rid of the slums," although he did not elaborate on how this would be accomplished. Local organizations working with the homeless population have reported progress in recent years, noting a nearly 20% decrease in homelessness among individuals in the city. Ralph Boyd, president of So Others Might Eat, Some, argued that simply relocating homeless individuals would not solve the issue and could exacerbate problems in less equipped communities. Outside the White House, protests erupted in response to Trump's actions, with demonstrators chanting "Hands off D.C." and "Protect Home Rule." Critics argue that the president's focus is on exerting control rather than genuinely addressing safety concerns. Trump's recent comments about violent crime and homelessness in Washington, D.C. reflect his long-standing criticism of the city's Democratic leadership. He has frequently highlighted incidents involving federal employees and local officials being attacked, characterizing them as a threat to national safety. This deployment of the National Guard marks a significant intervention in the governance of the District of Columbia, raising questions about the balance of power and the federal government's role in local law enforcement. As the situation unfolds, The eyes of the nation will be on Washington, D.C. to see how these measures impact crime rates and public safety in the capital. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.